Now this tutorial is to demonstrate how to build a tank Mordekaiser. Now for usually every time I pick a hero, my starting items are boots and potions. Since Mordekaiser has only health, I pick health potions. The reason I pick boots is because when you're first laning against someone, they usually have abilities that hit you with, and most of the time these abilities are dodgeable, and it's easier to dodge with boots. Now most people argue that health regen is the first item you should build with Mordekaiser. But I figured I could temporarily get potions if I need health. I can proc the potions for health, and then by the time I run out of potions, I will have enough to buy my health regen items. And so that's how I do it. But this kind of play style usually comes with expertise and knowledge of your opponent. For example, Vladimir here, his first ability targets you, and then he procs it, and once he procs it, it's guaranteed to hit you. It's not something you have to aim like Ash's volley spell or Gargus's barrel. It's something that targets you. And as you can see, the playstyle applies to any champion. My Siphon ability for the first level is the only ability I have, and then afterwards, after I cast it, there's a cooldown. This applies to Vlad as well. You notice that after I cast it, I will back off. Now enough about playing. What I do here is, this is pretty long-winded. I have to outlast my opponents. Now as you notice, I have yet to use any of my potions. This is good, because that means I can sell them later and buy more items. The first item I will get is going to build into the Omen's shield, Radun's Omen. The reason I build this shield is because this shield is meant for characters who don't use mana and depend primarily on cooldown reduction. Back before these items came out and Mordekaiser was a new champion, we had to buy cooldown items that came with mana. There was no item that was specifically tailored to tanking. I mean to cooldown only champions. Oh yeah, another note about Mordekaiser is he is a great lane pusher for obvious reasons. That siphoning spell, especially on the side lanes, can hit two champions at once, build a health shield that protects himself, and kill minions. Now, this is a deadly 3-on-1 benefit type of ability, because like the health shield you build is from the Siphon, and his first ability, the Mace of Spades, is dependent on how many minions you hit and how much damage you inflict. Since the Siphon's AoE, every time there's a huge minion wave, enemy minion wave, anytime there's an enemy minion wave, I can use it to gain instant health. It's not health regen, it's not heal over time, it's instant health. Now after you get your first ability, the second ability you get is the Mace of Spades. Right now I have all three of them, and my attack sequence when all the cooldowns are up, like you see now, is wait for a minion wave to show up. Well, I don't do that now, but I wait for a minion wave to show up, and I use the Mace of Spades, and I put on this the AoE shield. And then I do a Siphon. That's because the Mace of Spades hits the minions. It only targets minions, but the Siphon spell is what I use to target minions and heroes. So what I'm doing is I'm waiting for the champions to go in with their minion wave and attack us, or get close enough to us to do any real damage. Now that Misfortune has joined us, it makes things interesting because Vladimir is no longer gaining experience faster. One of the drawbacks of laning 2 versus 1 is that your opponents will level up faster than you two, since experience isn't shared. As you see here, I kept my word. I am building the Radun's Omen shield. The health crystal I got in the health regen items build to the Heart of Gold and whatever that other item is. Another feature of this shield is that when you proc it, gives you bonus armor and magic resistance temporarily, and slows down your opponents. Now this is something you want to use, you want to remember to use during team fights, because it will slow down your enemies, their movement speed, so any weak enemies aren't able to escape, and it increases your armor and magic resistance. The thing you have to work towards is more cooldown reduction, so you can spam your abilities more often. Now Mordekaiser's abilities do have a cap. His first ability is capped to 2.4 seconds, his Siphon ability to 3.6 seconds, And I forgot what his metal shield is capped to, but there is a cap and it's 40%. Oh, as for my summoner abilities, I have not explained that yet. Mostly on any champion I get teleport because the ability to go from your base or go from another location on the map to where your teammates are crucial for being a tank. The reason I got fortify is because I figured the tank's job is to protect the team, and that kind of includes towers too. I spec'd into the mastery for the defense mastery that allows fortify to have splash damage as well as the increased attack speed. And over here you see I ulted on Misfortune. Now I can use her ghost as a kamikaze against this tower. It's going to die, yes, but it's going to siphon health away from the tower during its 30 seconds of existence, or less, since Vladimir just killed it. Also, another feature of his ult is that part of your opponent's health temporarily becomes your health, so long as that ghost is alive. About minion targeting. The first ability, the Mace of Spades, deals double damage if it's only targeting one person or one minion. Now this is something that's okay to use on one minion because your health shield regens health depending on how much damage you deal. The third ability, the Metal Siphon, you do not want to use against one minion because it doesn't build as much of your health shield as it should, and it takes us more health than it returns in form of health shield. That's what I'm saying. It's a waste to use on one minion. As you can see, most of the time, most of the damage being dealt to me is taken up by my health shield, and the only health I lose is from using my abilities. Right now I'm teleporting to mid to stop Urgot from pushing into the tower and dealing damage to it. When my health shield is full, you can see most of the damage again is being taken by my health shield. I barely make it out alive here, and that's because Urgot got greedy and he dies. I get an assist. I prompt the fortify because, as you can see on bot, these three champions are trying to attack the tower, and they take it down, yes, but at least I slowed them down. Now, because I may have been boring you, I'm going to jump ahead to a scene where we have a team fight. As you can see here, Ashe ults her arrow. Now, we didn't know this was going to happen, but it's a good opportunity. My ult isn't up, so I can't take advantage of this by turning into a ghost. Now, as you can see here, one thing you never want to do is chase an enemy all the way into the base, as Malphite does here. Over here, you see me checking out the store while I recall. Now, you want to buy, for this particular team, I got magical resistant boots, Mercury Treads, I believe that's what they're called. I forgot what they call it, but they reduce your time stunned and everything. This team has a lot of magic damage, so that's why I decided to purchase. Now I have that Raduan's Omen, that whatever Omen shield that I want before. Now over here, something interesting happens. Our Zillion makes the mistake of getting too close, and he gets pulled in by his team. Now they're playing beat the clock with this guy, so we have to help him out. Malphite ults in, and most of us proc our ults. As you can see, my cooldown on my ult is 81 seconds. During this fight, it was pretty close. We were only able to kill one person, and I barely made it out of my life. And I put up a fortify just so they don't attack the tower, and it has AoE damage. Oh yeah, and Garen was attacking top tower. Now over here, what you want to do now is build Warmog's armor. First item I get is health regen, just because it was available, honestly. There's no other motivation for it. Now over here in this scene is another team fight. This would be a perfect time to use out that the unique active we have on that shield. See, I use it on a Warwick here so that he wouldn't get away. And he's going to be, and he does eventually get killed, but not by me. Now, as you can see from the shield, it was that blue thing that was glowing on the ground. The AoE effect of this shield isn't that big, but it's good enough, I guess. Now, after a certain bit of farming, I have enough to get a health belt that gives me 450 bonus health, because I figured I had enough health regen, And the thing with a tank is, like, late game, you should have a huge health well. A health regen, well, I have a lot of health regen too, but a huge health well is important for a tank late game. Right now, my other tank here, he only has less than 2k health, and ideally at the end of the game should have around close to 4k, 3.5k at least. Now this scene over here is very important. You'll see me farming the middle lane and building my health shield all the way up, and this is important because at this moment you see just how important that health shield can be. Urgot over here is throwing everything he had at me, and all he was able to do is barely take down my health shield. And at some point he's going to start complaining about it, but that's fine. Now that I'm still at full health, we're going to go down here and gank Vladimir. We're not going to try. He's done for it. There's no way he's making it out of this one alive. And I'm going to siphon him and hopefully steal the kill so that I can use him to kamikaze a tower. Yep, got the kill. Alright, now to kamikaze a tower. Now, these guys at this point decide they want to give up. All I was able to build was my boots, the warmogs, and the shield. Mordekaiser's build is very simple. You have health regen, health, and cooldown reduction. Cooldown reduction being first and most important. Hopefully in another tutorial I can actually have more of a complete build and show you what Mordekaiser can really do.